Lone Rider Moto Pegs at $300. They are the most expensive foot pegs currently available for the Harley-Davidson Pan America. So the big question is then, are they worth it? Lone Rider Moto Pegs. Adaptive control foot pegs is what they say here on the box. What they're talking about is the fact that these pegs pivot and move with your foot. Okay, so let's see what we got. So we have the pegs themselves there. And overall, just initial first impressions looking at them is they are a high quality piece. It feels like good, solid, good weight to them. Made out of mostly aluminum, and then of course we got the rubber insert and then a piece of stainless steel for the teeth going around, right? So you can take that rubber insert out, and that gives you the ability to have the bottom of your boots grip against the teeth on the stainless steel perimeter. The stainless steel piece is replaceable for when eventually those teeth start to wear down. It's just a single piece that you replace. And the rubber inserts go back in just as easy. We have a QR code that you can scan to get some install instructions. And this is kind of cute, kind of funny. And I guess, when you're spending this kind of money on something, it's nice when companies at least try and go a little bit extra to make it worth it, but I don't know. So basically you got this little baggie here. We got a paper towel in there for you. You got some latex gloves to keep your hands clean, some Q-tips in there, and then we also have this nice little 10 millimeter cheap gear wrench that they include. You have these are the rubber inserts. So what's unique about these pegs as far as others on the market right now is that there are other pegs that will pivot and move. These pegs use these rubber inserts to adjust how much pivot there is, that effect, how much it resists movement before it will actually start to go. So you can fine tune exactly how much you want this peg to move with you. Right? And then we have some other tools, some Allen wrenches, a little set of tweezers, some extra lock nuts there. And all of this is really only needed if you're going to change out those rubber inserts that control how much they pivot. They come with a set in there that's rated for what they call their medium. And then you can put softer ones in there if you want it to pivot more. You have harder ones you can put in there if you want it to pivot less. So I'm just going to stick with the medium and give that a shot. So I don't need any of this right now. All right, so it's time to go and install them on the bike. To make pulling the foot peg a little easier, I like to spray some penetrating lube around the pin. Now this pin has a spring-loaded clip on the bottom that keeps it in, and if you don't see that up on the top, what you can do is put a finger on the bottom of that pin and begin to rotate, try and spin it as you use the foot peg to try and rotate that pin around. So now you can see that little spring-loaded clip there. And what I like to use, the tools that I like to use for this is just a little metal pick tool and then a small flat blade screwdriver. So I'll start with the screwdriver, press that down and then push up with your thumb at the same time and then start to pull it out. You can rotate the foot peg to help it along. Now if you get to the point, you may get to a spot where that pin has popped back out, and so this is where you would put that flat blade screwdriver in between wherever it's stuck to push it down again. So now now it's popped out again once I'm past the spring, so I need to get in there, push it down again, and there we go. Now I have it completely removed. And there you can see how that spring-loaded little clip works. Alright, and then remove the foot peg, being careful not to have the spring go flying. And remember the orientation of that spring as you removed it. Compare the angle of the mounting brackets to make sure that you have the correct foot peg for the correct side of the bike. And then put the spring into the hole on the back of the foot peg bracket. And for this, I like to use my little pick to hold the bottom of that spring and try and lift it up, hold it up, and guide it into the hole on the mounting point of the bike. And then get the foot peg in position and reinsert the pin. All set. Right side of the bike is exactly the same, with the exception if you happen to have a rear muffler guard like I do, you will need to move that out of the way for that pin to come out. So after riding with these pegs for a few weeks, here's my impressions so far. To start, they are a good bit larger than the stock pegs, and I do like having that larger area for my foot, whether I'm sitting, standing, or just mounting and dismounting the bike. Vibrations aren't bad. To be honest, I didn't feel the vibrations through the stock pegs were bad to begin with, and these are certainly no worse either with or without the rubber inserts. One concern I had at first is I've never tried a pivoting peg before, and I was a little worried how that was going to feel. I was worried that it was going to have me feeling less connected, less stable on the bike, but I found the complete opposite of that. The pivoting of the pegs let them self-adjust to my natural foot position as I'm seated on the bike, but the biggest difference is how they help me maintain my balance while standing and riding off-road, allowing my body to move independently of the motorcycle as I was going over rougher terrain. And the fit and finish of the pegs is excellent. In fact, these may be the first accessory that I've bought for this bike that I really can't find anything to nitpick over quality-wise. So really, it's just going to come down to the price. At $300, are the Lone Rider Moto Pegs worth it? There's no denying that these are an excellent quality-made product. However, I don't think that they offer the best value because there's just several other options out there on the market, whether you're looking for a larger foot peg, a pivoting foot peg, or even foot pegs that sit lower and give you a little bit more leg room, all of which at lower price points than the Lone Rider pegs. Now, if you don't mind dropping $300, by all means, these are an excellent choice. I'm certainly happy with them. But you'll likely be just as happy with the performance of one of the other options and save a little bit of money at the same time. Thanks for watching. Ride safe.